Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I might edit that out, but I don't know. Anyways, hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Your girl is feeling herself today. She got like a new little do or whatever. Tell me how y'all like it. Um, but anyways, no, I am back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about a little bit of accomplishment that I had a few short months ago, year ago, 2 years. Has it been 2 years since I released my? It has been. It just doesn't feel like it because I released it at the end of 2021. But anyways, so what we're talking about today is, drum roll please, my book. As you can tell from the title. So we're talking about my book today, guys, because I wanted to just let those know who follow me, like the few that follow me. But in Jesus' name, we're gonna grow this channel. That I wrote a book because I felt called to, and it took me this long, yes, to come out and market my book and talk about my Loverly book, just because I wanted to make sure that the time was right. I wanted to just really let it resonate in my spirit that I had even written a book. And this is just a big, huge accomplishment. So some things that I want to talk about while writing this book that I felt like were hard. Let's get into like the hard stuff first, if you will. Was definitely just figuring out where to start, because once I came up with the idea, it was pretty much from there. Like, and actually, I don't want to jump ahead because I honestly want to talk about how I even came up with the idea, like before we even talk about how I dived into it. Just because, like I said, I was independently published. I am independently published. And so I did everything basically by myself, and I was in school, which to this day, I don't know how I did that. But I started a lot of the process of writing this book in COVID. So 2020 was a hard year for a lot, but that year ended up being like one of the biggest spiritual blessings in my life ever, just because it was the year that I really decided to just devote my life to God and do away with like worldly things, if you will. And it was the year that I just started writing my book. So yeah, anywho, basically all that to say that I had already felt God like calling me years prior, in like 2018 ish, if you will. So I guess like 2 years before, to write a book. And I heard him kind of say it, just write a book. And when he said that, I'm just like, yeah, no, he's not talking about me. And he's not talking to me. Because I'm like, there's no way that I am going to write a book. There's no way I even know how to write a book. It was just so out of my like plans for my life that I'm like, yeah, that's not going to happen. And how do we sound? How do we sound to God? Telling God when He tells us to do something, like, yeah, that's just not going to happen. It's like, do what He's called you to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, do what He's called you to do. But just us being the humans that we are and thinking that we know it all, honey, like, I just found myself fighting against what God was telling me to do. And so, long story short, I heard him say that in like 2018-ish. And so fast forward 2020, everything gets shut down. And when everything got shut down, obviously I had a lot of time to reflect on like where my walk was with Christ, and, just where God was taking me, and just so much stuff that, ultimately shaped the ideas for this book. Just really sitting in solitude and, meditating with Him, reading the Word is what honestly sparked this whole idea of me writing That Godly Confidence, and just having, self reflection, if you will. And, I was honestly the type of person in COVID that I'm like, I was good the first half, but the second half, I'm like, okay, God is trying to tell us something, and I don't want to be that person that once this all blows over, if the smoke even blows over, I don't want to be that person that I wasted that time when it's clear He's trying to sit us down and tell us something. Only my God, our God, can stop the world stop Disney World, stop the NBA, like stop the entire world from moving and, say peace be still, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Only our God could do something like that. And so I just felt like if it's God trying to tell me something, I'm fin to listen and I'm fin to obey. Because at this point, there ain't nothing but, space and opportunity. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't like time was available to us because people were passing away left and right. And so it just forces you to, for some, it forces you to really want to see what God is trying to tell you. So, with that being said, the idea came because I was like, well, something that I knew that I felt like I was lacking a lot was confidence. And I just wanted it so badly, from within myself, not from things, not from magic tricks, not from makeup and hair and nails and all these things. Like, I wanted that inner peace, that inner contentment, that inner, what God is, peace, love, joy, and, the fullness of his love. I just wanted to know without a doubt, that I was confident and that, nothing in me lacked what God wanted to be in me. You know what I'm saying? Like that I was just right where he needed me to be. And he spoke that to me. He ministered that to me. I felt it. I was radiating within that confidence. His word was just the double-edged sword that it was. And it just really just got me thinking, like, you know what, all this stuff that God is downloading into my spirit, and I'm typing it in my notes, just little sentences and little things. Every time he would say something, I would just type it in my notes and write it down or whatever. Just stop immediately what I'm doing and just start little by little. And before I knew it, I'm like, maybe I should make a video about this. But it was deeper than that. It was more so like, I need to expound upon it. I need to study this thing called confidence. I need to understand, why did I lack it in the first place? How to get it. If I really want to help people, I need to really expound upon this so that I can share it the proper way. And so with that being said, like, it was the confidence of God that even got me to even explore the idea of, like, should I write a book about this? Like an actual book about this. It was just the idea of, like, I feel this confidence. God has brought me to this point. Should I even, like, start? And then once I remembered how God told me in 2018 to write a book, it all started coming together. And I was like, God, if you want me to write a book, you're going to have to show me the way. Literally. Like, you're just going to have to show me the way because I don't know what I'm doing. And don't you know, God's strength is made perfect in our weakness? Hello. And so, yeah, with that, like, confession, I guess God just did the rest. And voila, magic. Voila, magic. But no, seriously, like, yeah, that's just the truth. So from then, I just had the idea, like, yeah, okay, I got all of these tools that God gave me. Let me just start with sentences. Let me just start with little notes and putting them in my phone, putting them in my journal, and just not stress it and just take it one day at a time because all I have is time, literally in COVID. You know what I'm saying? That's all we have. So I'm just like, I'm going to take it one day, one step at a time. So once I did that, I also was inspired because I seen one of my classmates had written a book, and I was just like, wow, that is so amazing that she actually like read a whole piece of like literature, and she did, I think, like a fiction book, if you will, or something. I don't know, but like it was just very amazing to me that she written a book. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it always encourages and inspires me when I see someone that's cut from the same cloth as me that did something, and I'm like, wow, if they did it, maybe I could do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's another reason I'm making this video, that if I know for a fact that if I did it, you can do it, because I literally am just like the servant of the Lord. Like, I'm nobody. And so not nobody like that now, because confidently I'm me. But nobody, like, I don't big myself up or nothing like that. Like, I'm just here to do the work of my Father. But I had to say the story because people will, shame. Anyways, moving right along. I just felt really inspired, and so from her like visual of writing a book, and from me going on YouTube, I just said, let me just see if I can do it, right? So I go on YouTube and I'm like, how to write a book. And wouldn't you know, so many people on there just really blessed my life because it was just like, it seemed so attainable. They just broke it down like X, Y, Z was speaking in layman terms. I'm like, are you kidding me? anybody can write a book. I thought you had to maybe like audition for a company. I thought you had to go through like writing contests. I thought you had to find yourself approved. I thought you had to have a degree. Like, I just didn't even understand that it was so attainable for anybody to write a book. It just really shocked me, if you will, when I realized, it shocked me, if you will, how easy. I want to say how easy, even though it wasn't like easy, but how easy it was for anybody to just start the process and writing the book. Like, it just, anybody can do it. It just takes consistency, persistency, and the will of God. You know what I'm saying? And your surrender to say, yes, yes, God, I will do this. And so, yeah, it really shocked me. So, moral of the story, YouTube, seeing her write the book, feeling God pushing it on my heart, I gathered all these like notes that I wrote down, and I said, okay, I need to have a structure. So I just started like seeing what about chapters I wanted for the book. I knew I didn't want it to be too dense. I knew I didn't want it to be too thin. Just a nice like average book, if you will, and just something where it's like straight to the point. It's very like direct. It's very in your face. It's very like not wasting your time, because time is of the essence. Okay, hello, the enemy is always working, prowling like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. And I knew that time is of the essence, and so I just wanted to make sure that people really got a chance to, just read a plain English book from a plain English individual who's very direct, and just sharing what I feel that God, is leading me to share to his people. And so I think the biggest thing too is how the oxymoron of me feeling so unqualified to write a book, yet I'm writing about confidence, just shows how like God's sovereign will and plan for your life and his purpose for your life reigns and outweighs so much more when you just give him your yes. Like, even if you don't understand how it's going to come into fruition, even if you don't even like feel qualified, like just your surrender, your obedience unto him is what, you know, thinking about something, because I said something that I'm like, spoiler alert, I think I might be writing, I don't know, but we ain't gonna get into that. But more of the story, more of the story is just like how your obedience unto God really produces fruit, regardless of what you feel, regardless of what feel like you're qualified for or not qualified for, regardless of what the world feels like you're qualified for or not qualified for. If God is calling you to do it, if God is calling you to do, or, say or be a certain thing, or just whatever, I don't think I'm making sense at this point, he's going to see you to it. And so that's basically what I'm getting at. So anyways, yeah, this book is on Amazon. I am hoping for it to eventually be in like Barnes and Noble and like local bookstores and stuff. Like I said, I'm an independent author, so I didn't get this book published through like a, publishing company. I did it through Amazon KDP, and I had like a lot of like help from editors telling me which way to go and stuff like that. And yeah, I'm just, excited talking about it, just because, this has just been a labor of love, and it took me probably about a year and some change to write the book. And then, yeah, a year and some change to write the book. So I started writing it in 2020, and I released it at the end of 2021, literally the end, like December 2021. So a year and some months after that, is that a full year, or is a year? Yeah, about a year to write this book, and then voila. So it's not too thick. It's about 122 pages, and I do believe that, if anyone is looking for, steps on how to confidently become their best selves with the help of the Lord, that this is the book for you. Step 1 says forgive. Step 2, let go of that bad relationship. Step 3, understand your physical appearance isn't where your true beauty lies. Step 4, get inspired, pray about your purpose, and execute. Step 5, remain humble. And then remarks at the end. And then I forgot I even wrote an introduction. So wow, that's coolio. That's coolio. I forgot I even wrote an introduction. And I love these little scriptures that I have in big scriptures that I have like throughout the book, which is Jeremiah 17:7. But blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord, whose confidence is in him. So yeah, it's like, it makes me feel so good that I have so many like devotional books that I read alongside the Bible, and this is like one of those books that if you're a Christian, you can study alongside as you're reading your word. You know what I'm saying? Like as you're reading this, you have your Bible right beside you. Because I have so many books like that. I have so many devotionals and things that when I'm reading it, I have the Bible right beside it. And so it just feels good knowing that I have something tangible that, people can read alongside the Word of God. And just to God be the glory. To the back of it says, are you someone who's ready for change in an area that's been lacking in confidence? Are you ready to boldly walk into daily living with the knowing of who you are? For some, the world has done its fair share of clouding the true you, making you doubt your worth and your purpose. Gaining that godly confidence unleashes a whole new world of knowledge, thinking, that leads undiscovered and overlooked areas in your life to become abundant, which God has made you to be. Gain the perspective today that leads you to invest in becoming a better, more fulfilled you by grabbing a hold of that godly confidence. So yeah, there's my little picture in the back. I had a really fun time taking these pictures. Invest in yourself, people. Every ounce of any dollars that went into this book, I had no donations, no sponsors. This all came from moi. So yeah, I remember that year I was looking busted. Like I didn't get a chance to do my hair, nails, makeup, nothing. Every penny I had besides like food and rent and stuff like that in my car was into this book. So yeah, invest in yourself, people. But yeah, so the photo shoot, she was a really sweet lady. We did that at like this downtown place, the Soma district. If you're from Little Rock like I am, so we did that. It's really fun. And wouldn't you know? Oh my goodness, look how the enemy works. This day was probably one of the like, oh my God, it was so. The enemy was blocking this book from every turn. This day, I got a call early in the morning that it was like a court case going on with, within my family for one of my loved ones. And it was so stressful. It was so stressful because it was like bad news. And it was bad news after bad news after bad news. Right after I got a call, from a family member about a court case that was going on, that was bad news with some of my loved ones. And I had to, like basically show up via Zoom in court and stuff like that. Not for nothing too crazy, but just like some stuff. Right after that, I get another call that another family member like had a stroke, and it was just like a lot going on. It was just so much going on. You see Sammy's little paw right there. I don't care if you're watching this. He's in here. That's so funny. But yeah, that's my auntie's cat. His little paw. He see me out here. But anyways, yeah, it was like bad news after bad news after bad news. And all of this happened in the morning. And I had this scheduled in the morning. So I just thought that was very of the enemy to have that lined up. Like I was getting call after call in the morning. And they didn't know that I had this photo shoot going on too. I'm sure they probably wouldn't have like, called me or whatever. But whatever the case may be, it was just not good. So my mind was like mumbo jumbo on a day that I'm supposed to be so happy. I'm taking my headshots, my photos. Like I'm having fun now because I did all of like the laboring of writing the book, and that was happening. Wouldn't you know? So yeah, basically that's the story behind that picture. But ain't God good that I still kept a smile on my face. Glory be to God. So yeah, that happened, and then like it was so much warfare whenever I was writing this book. I was having like death dreams. I was having like so much stuff from the enemy in my mind, like financial attacks. I mean, I just was feeling so beaten up spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Like my dad was admitted to like the hospital for a long time. It was like so much stuff going on privately. Man, oh man, oh man. Like it was just not good. It was not good. It was just like one thing after another. I was getting a call about this, that, and the third. It was just so much. And so the fact that this is even here is just a testament of how good God is and how, if you wait on the Lord, he shall renew your strength, truly. And yeah, I don't want to hold too much of your time anymore. I just wanted to talk about my experience and, just share that, if God called you to it, he will see you through it. That Godly Confidence is available on Audible as well. I forgot to mention that I met with a lovely narrator. His name is Jackson Baker. And for those of you who maybe feel like, oh, well, this is a little bit too deep for me to just read, or I get bored reading, I have an audible version available for you. So that's available on Amazon, iTunes, wherever you get your audibles, audiobooks. And yeah, this is, available via Kindle, Nook, whatever you have, and then tangibly, on stores. I'm also, if any of you that are like subscribed to me, family, friends, or whatever, I'm also selling in-person books. So if I happen to be around you and you want to purchase a copy, I'm selling them for cheaper in person, obviously, because you don't have to deal with shipping or whatever. On Amazon, it's like $12.99, I believe. In person, I'm selling them for cheaper. So if you want it that way, family, friends, anybody watching this video, let me know and I will get you a copy. Pretty much everybody in my family has a copy by now, though. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. Mostly everybody has a copy. But anywho, yeah. 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 I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye. Peace.